Well, Cambodia has postponed a two-day ASEAN foreign ministers retreat scheduled for next week. Well, it's understood there is concern about Myanmar's military-appointed minister attending these talks. Wanda's Leong Waikit joins us live. Waikit, ASEAN still grappling with how to include Myanmar in the bloc.
That's right, Vesu. Because if the retreat had not been postponed, this time next week, foreign affairs ministers of the region are perhaps going to come face to face with the army-appointed foreign minister Wana Mangluing in Cambodia, whom Cambodia has hinted at inviting to the retreat. So they're going to have to look at issues of, sharing the same space, sitting at the same table, and even taking the same photo op at the end of the retreat. That said, Cambodia's official reason for postponing the retreat is that some ministers find it difficult to travel to Cambodia, which is also a reflection of the current situation. I mean, Omicron variant is not just an issue in the region, but also in the world. But I must add that this postponement had taken everyone by surprise, Cambodia including, because as recently as Tuesday, some officials had been holding last-minute meetings to discuss the final points of logistics to host the foreign delegate. I mean, even before Cambodia had broken the news, some of my sources have already told me that this retreat could be postponed. In fact, my CNA team and I have been planning to fly to Cambodia to cover the retreat in Siem Reap. That said, this retreat is going to be held at a later date, and the format is going to be held online.
Well, Waikit, I assume one of the items on the agenda at these talks will be helping to resolve the crisis in Myanmar. If we postpone these talks, how will this postponement impact efforts to help resolve this crisis?
In fact, the first impact has already been seen. I mean, some view this postponement as a dent on ASEAN's collective efforts to discuss Myanmar. And frankly, the optics aren't good, especially after Prime Minister Hun Sen's recent trip to Myanmar to meet Army Chief Min Aung Hlaing, which many view as controversial. And the fact that the upcoming retreat is going to be held online is going to add another dimension of perhaps a small setback, because as a veteran diplomat had pointed out before, diplomacy is all about having a glass of wine, discussing issues in person. And so, having it online is going to be a small setback for the ministers. That said, what's really crucial is ASEAN's consensus on Myanmar. And it will be interesting to see how ASEAN as a bloc responds to Cambodia's creative measures to handle the Myanmar issue. One recent example we've seen, Prime Minister Hun Sen flying to Myanmar to meet Army Chief. Minister Hun Sen has also brought up this Troika mechanism, which is basically a three-party committee comprising past, current, and the next ASEAN chair, using this platform to push the agenda of Myanmar forward. So it will be interesting to see how ASEAN as a bloc responds to these creative measures.
Well, thanks for all that. Leong Waikit reporting.